You are sitting in a soju bar with your closest friends Ria, Sia, Jihu, and Belu around a low wooden table. Empty green soju bottles were already piling up, and plates of steaming food had covered almost every corner of the table. Tonight was not just any night, it was special. It was Belu's celebration, her engagement, and not just to anyone but to her school secretly adored for years. You all were happy for her. Jihu, your best friend since forever, leaned forward and she pointed her chopsticks at Belu. Her chubby cheeks were slightly pink. Hey Belu, you are so lucky, Imagine having a crush on someone, carrying it all these years, and then one day he actually proposes to you. Isn't that magical? Belu laughed while sipping her soju. Ah, that's love. It makes a person crazy, right? By the way, tonight he is coming. Maybe we will go to Han River. He said that he wants to spend some time with me. She said, blushing. Ria guessed dramatically and leaned in while covering her mouth with her hands. Oh my god, Han River at night, lights, cool breeze, and your fiancé. You are actually having a. Everyone giggled, you smiled too, though your heart felt strangely heavy for a reason you didn't even quite want to admit. Then, out of nowhere, Sia turned her head towards you. She put a steaming piece of sausages in her mouth and said, well, Mayan, what about you? Do you have a crush on someone? I mean, you're so beautiful. Hearing that, you literally choked on your drink. You coughed dramatically as the soju burned down your throat. Your face instantly turned red like a fresh ripped tomato, and you waved your hand. What are you even saying? Yeah, Mayan, she's right. Don't tell me no one has confessed to you before. You gulp hard, avoiding their eyes. Jihu suddenly burst out laughing. She leaned back on her chair and pointed at you. This girl, are you kidding me? She has a heart made of stone. She doesn't like any guy. Let me tell you something interesting, guys. Everyone leaned forward. You nudged Jihu's shoulder while shaking your head. Jihu, no. Jihu smiled and said, oh, come on, let me tell them. So, once in a high school, a really handsome guy confessed to her, but she rejected her proposal. Jihu's eyes gleamed. Everyone gasped dramatically and then burst into a laughter. Jihu slapped the table, laughing so hard she had always tears in her eyes. Jihu forced a cheeky smile while slyly growling at Jihu. You always shared everything with Jihu, but there was a secret you had never shared with her. You are not heartless as Jihu had presented you right now. You are not made of stone. You did have feelings. Feelings for her elder brother Jungkook. But you never said this aloud. That just hearing his device say made your stomach twist. Yeah, don't sulk now. Pass me that steaming bulgogi, please. Belu smirked. Wait, weren't you on a diet? Ria grabbed the plate and gave her a pouty look. That doesn't suit apply. The food is free. This is a cheat day. Everyone burst into laughter again, hearing that you laughed too, but your cheeks were turning warm from the soju. Jihu looked at you concerned and then leaned closer. Hey bestie, how will you go back home? Come on, put it down. You smirked lazily, your eyelids were already heavy. No, I am fine, I can handle it. Your hands were gripping the edge of the table to balance, and you were slipping down your chair without even realizing it. Suddenly, the car honked the horn. All of you turned your heads through the window. The headlights shone brightly. Belu quickly stood up and grabbed her purse. It's him, she squealed. Ria winked at all of you and said to Belu, wow, look at some blushing bride to be. Belu giggled shyly and rushed outside. After some time, Ria and Sia's boyfriends arrived too. They hugged you all goodbye, and one by one, the group started to disperse until only you and Jihu were left. Jihu sighed. Aish, look at you. You can barely sit straight. She rubbed her temple. I can't leave her alone at her house like this. She will probably fall asleep outside her wooden door. Looks like I will have to take her to my place. She muttered to herself and helped you to stand up. Your weight pressed on her shoulder as you giggled aimlessly. Jihu, you are the bestest friend ever. Yeah, yeah. When you finally reached her house, Jihu rang the doorbell. The door opened and it revealed Jungkook, her elder brother, who was dressed casually in sweatpants and a loose t-shirt. Your eyes were already closed and your head was leaning on Jihu's shoulder. Oh, what happened to her? He asked in his deep, husky voice. Jihu groaned. Oppa, please help me. Jungkook ears turned slightly red. He hesitated for a second and then stepped forward. For a moment, Jungkook's jaw clenched. He carried you to the guest's room. He adjusted the blanket over you. Jihu walked in behind him. He glanced at Jihu, clearing his throat. Take care of her. Jihu nodded and then Jungkook left for his room. You stirred slightly in your sleep, mumbling something incoherent. You will never change, bestie. The next morning, you woke up, your heart was throbbing faintly as the after effects of soju were making your body feel heavy and your throat dry. You slowly sat up, rubbing your forehead. Ah, my head, you whispered. You looked around to see a familiar guest room. Jihu often used to take you at her place. You had your own house, but you lived there alone as your parents had went for a business trip. Sighing heavily, you dragged your feet across the wooden floor, pushing your messy hair behind your ears. You padded towards the kitchen. As you smelled the food, the moment you stepped in, you saw Jihu. She was standing by the stove. Her hair was tied in a loose bun, and she was wearing a casual oversized t-shirt. Hey, bestie, you asked, looking at her back. Jihu turned and smiled warmly. Yeah, sweetie, I couldn't drop you home last night, so you crashed here. She reached over to a place in glass in front of you, a cloudy drink that looked sour. Here I made a hangover drink. Drink this fast before breakfast. It will help your head. You nodded gratefully while wrapping your both hands around the cool glass. You took a deep breath, wincing at the sharp taste, but it did make your throat felt alive again. Jihu leaned her elbow on the counter and tilted her head at you. Oh, by the way, last night I couldn't drag you upstairs, so I asked Sopa to help me. Your throat burned, you literally choked on the drink. What? You sputtered with your wide eyes open. Jihu frowned confused. What's with that face? It's not a big deal. But your cheeks were instantly turned crimson. You pressed your hands against your face, trying to hide it. I need to go to bathroom. You quickly stood up, almost tripping over the chair. You were not even looking ahead when suddenly you collided straight into something's wrong. No, not something, someone. A gas left your mouth. You froze for a moment and then slowly your eyes traveled upward, but then your jaw dropped, seeing Jungkook. Careful, he muttered without breaking the eye contact. Jill looked at both of you and smirked. Oppa, you already saved her from falling, then why are you still holding my bestie? She said, laughing loudly. Your eyes widened in panic and you quickly pushed yourself away. Then, without daring to look back, you rushed straight into the bathroom. Slamming the door shut and you pressed your back against it. Your hands immediately covered your burning cheeks. Oh my, oh my. You stared at your reflection in the mirror. Your face was as red as tomato and your heart refused to calm down. You splashed some cold water on your cheeks while shaking your head. Calm down, Ryan. It was nothing. After a while, gathering some courage, you took a deep breath and went downstairs to see Jungkook having breakfast with Jihu. Jihu waved at you cheerfully. Hey Ryan, come, breakfast is ready. You gulp shook your head quickly, avoiding Jungkook's gaze. No, I think I'll go home now. Jihu pouted as she put her chopstick down. What? Already? But you didn't even eat. No, Jihu, I am fine. I will eat at home. Don't worry. Jungkook was looking at your flushed face while chewing slowly. You quickly grabbed your bag and mumbled, I will go now. Bye, Jihu. Before she could say a word, you turned on your heels and rushed out the door. Jihu sighed. Oh, what happened to this girl today? Why she is acting so weird? Meanwhile, Jungkook was staring at the doorway, his ears had slightly turned red. On the other hand, as you reach your small, cozy house, you collapse onto the sofa, pressing a pillow against your chest. Your heart was still racing, as though you had run a marathon. In the evening, you were sitting across from Lecto on the clean floor of your bedroom while playing with your fluffy white cat. Stroking its soft fur usually calmed you down, but today your mind kept flashing back to the moment. You answered the call, trying to sound normal. Hello. Hey bestie, what happened to you this morning? You ran out like the house was on fire. Is everything okay with you? You forced a weak smile and replied, nothing like that. I just suddenly remembered I forgot to give food to my cat, so I came home quickly. Oh well, bestie, today when I told you that Opa carried you to the guest room, you behave weird. I see you behaving good whenever my Opa appears. You are never like this with anyone else. Your hand froze mid-stroke on your cat's fur, but then you managed to compose yourself. What? Shy? Me? No way. See, it's nothing. Jihu, I will talk to you later. I need to feed my cat. You said, chuckling, giving her a lame excuse to avoid the question. Wait, don't hang up. You have to come to my house this evening. But why, bestie? I am going to Paris tonight. The flight is around 10 p.m. and you had promised that you will help me with packing and all that stuff. I had already told you about that. You can't deny no. And yeah, you can bring your cat also. You hesitated for a moment, but Jehu had already told you about her international trip. You knew you couldn't disappoint your best friend. Okay, fine, I will come. You replied while looking at your cat. Good, see you soon, bestie. You sat there in silence for a moment, thinking to yourself, but your thoughts were not about packing. They were about the possibility of seeing Jungkook again. In the evening, Jihu's room was in complete chaos. Clothes were flying everywhere, dresses, jeans, jackets, all were landing on the bed. You were sitting on the floor, cross legged, beside the half open suitcase. You were neatly folding and arranging clothes with an inexpected look. Hey bestie, why are you throwing clothes like this? If you pack like that, they will take up double space in your suitcase. Chihu laughed, not even slowing down. Don't be sophisticated, Ryan. Just stuff them all in. The suitcase will magically close. You sighed dramatically and carefully folded each piece like a perfectionist. Hey, you will thank me later when you actually have space. Jihu winked and went back to tossing, but suddenly she slapped her forehead. You looked up at her, startled. What happened now? Why are you hitting yourself? I forgot to buy face masks. You blinked in horror. Seriously? That's what made you scream like a ghost? Yes, you don't get it. Only Korean masks suit my skin. She whined while stomping her feet like a child. You shook your head amused. Don't worry, you can just buy them here. No way, never. Only in Korean masks, bestie. I will have to go buy them now before I leave. Your eyes widened in shock. What? But you are leaving for the airport in half an hour. She quickly slipped into her slippers and tossing some cash in her small bag, she adjusted her bun and hurried to the door. I will be quick, don't worry. And if Opa comes, tell him the food is ready. Please serve him too. Wait, what? Serving me? There was no rush to protest as she already rushed out. You sighed and sat there frozen for a moment while clutching a half folded shirt in your hand. Your heart was racing uncontrollably. Ah, why me now? After a while, as you zipped up her suitcase after neatly folding the clothes, the doorbell rang, your heartbeat raced. You hurried down the stairs, hoping desperately that it was Jihu. But as soon as you opened the door, your breath caught in your throat. It was not Jihu, it was Jungkook. He was standing casually, his one hand was resting in his pant pocket while the other was scrolling through his phone. But the moment the door opened, he looked up, his heart raced seeing you, and his eyes instantly softened. Oh, hi. Your entire face turned red. Instead of replying, you panicked, bowed your head slightly, and went straight into the kitchen without even saying hello. Jungkook raised an eyebrow, smirking slightly at your flustered escape. He shut the door behind him and followed your hurried footsteps into the kitchen. He saw you preheating the food. I came here to help Jehu with packing. She told me to serve you the food, you said weakly. Jungkook noticed that your hands were trembling as you fiddled with the stove knobs. Oh, I see. By the way, where is she now? She went to buy face masks. Ish, this girl always run around last minute. Just then, something brushed against his ankle. Jungkook looked down to see your fluffy white cat rubbing its forehead against his leg, purring, his lips curved into a rare smile. Wow, it is so beautiful. Jungkook was about to carry the cat when you said, placing the food plate in front of him. First eat the food, then you can play with her. He gave you a small nod, obediently picking up the chopstick and starting to eat. Why are you not eating? I'm not hungry. He nodded his head while chewing the food. After a while, as he finally finished, you hurried forward to clear the dishes. You picked up the empty plates and carried them to the sink. Turning on the water, you grabbed the sponge, but suddenly Jungkook snatched it from your hands. You frowned and looked at him. Hey, that's not your word. Go and rest. I ate, so I will clean. No, it's fine. I will do it, really. You said, stuttering. Your cheeks were heating up. Jungkook smirked. Why are you always nervous around me, Mayan? You gulped hard, your lips parted, but no words came out. His hand slowly tightened on your delicate hand. Butterflies erupted into your stomach, spreading a fire you had never felt before. Suddenly, the doorbell rang again and shattered the fragile bubble you were trapped in. Without saying a word, you bolted up the stairs and rushed straight into Jihu's room. You quickly slammed the door. Oh my, did that just really happen? You whispered to yourself. Meanwhile, Jungkook smirked and wiped his mouth with his thumb before walking to the door. When he opened it, Jihu was standing there with shopping bags in her hand, slightly out of breath. Oppa, did Wine serve you food? Sorry I took so long. Yes, she did. Jungkook's lips curved into a small smile. Oh, great, great, she muttered and stepped inside. After a while, You both dropped Jihu at the airport and later Jungkook dropped you at your place. After a week, you were sitting curled up on the rug with a fluffy cat laughing softly as you dangled a toy in front of it, but then you felt a heavy gaze. Slowly, you glanced back only to find Jungkook. Hey, don't look at me, you muttered, hiding your face against your cat's fur. Meow meow, you both looked at the cat who was glaring at the two of you. Jungkook caressed your cheeks. See, even your cat is jealous of me. You chuckled.